so glad you made it. I was just about to get started drawing, so this is perfect timing. Right before you got here, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to draw. And then I found this photo of my family and I at the Grand Canyon in Arizona. That road trip was amazing. Arizona was amazing. There's so many cool different types of plants and animals to see. But I remembered my son was kind of nervous about the different poisonous reptiles and insects that we might find out there in the desert, because a lot of them live in those hot, dry environments like the desert, and we were planning on doing some hiking. Long story short, before we left, I did a little bit of research on what types of poisonous animals that we might find, and there was this one poisonous lizard that I found that was just too cool. It's called the Gila Monster. I learned all sorts of cool facts about them, including that they're one of only 2 or 3 lizards in the entire world that are poisonous, at least poisonous to humans. Would you like to learn a little bit about them while we draw one? Awesome, okay, well let's jump right into it. All you're gonna need is a clean sheet of paper, a nice sharp pencil, an eraser, a dark marker or a pen, and of course, something to color with. Okay, so hopefully you have your pencil ready and your eraser handy, because we are gonna start by sketching, and we're gonna sketch very, very lightly. So don't press really hard on your paper, because we're gonna kind of build a structure, or kind of like the skeleton first, out of really basic shapes. Okay, we're gonna start over here. I wanna put the head maybe right over here. So let's start with a circle right about here in the bottom right-hand corner. I like that. Now let's do a little line over here. Again, we're just sketching, so we're just trying to figure out the basic shape. So the face is gonna kind of come to a point, not super pointy, so I'm gonna kind of put that line there to kind of stop it on the edge there. And that's good. I think that's good enough to show that that's where the head's gonna be. Now we need to figure out where the body's gonna be. How's the body gonna look? And I'm thinking it's gonna be kind of a C shape. That way you can see the body, some of the legs, and the big fat tail that, you know, is the trademark of the Gila Monster. So let's do a curved line, maybe right about here. And we're gonna run that right back to the, maybe right underneath, right to that circle right there. Good, I think I like that. Now we need to make the rest of the body, so I'm gonna go on this side, kind of start above it a little bit, to leave room for the tail. And then I'm going to just kind of do the same thing, but connect it here at kind of the bottom of that circle on this side. And just do big, broad strokes. Okay, so it's not looking super chunky, so I could probably go a little bit chunkier. I want a chunky, lazy Gila Monster. That's what I love about them. Okay, now we're gonna make sure this curves a little bit, make sure that continues to curve at the top, and then we wanna add the big, thick tail. So I'm gonna, to start lightly, I'm going to draw kind of a leaf shape. Just draw kind of a leaf shape. Like that. Now this is just to show where it's going to be. It's not gonna end up looking like this exactly, but this helps us understand where the shape is and where it fits on the page. I kind of have it to the right, but it's okay. I'm happy with it still. All right, so we have the tail, the body, the head. Now we need to add the arms and the legs. So the way I'm gonna draw the arms, I'm just gonna start with basic shapes again, because a lot of these funky looking shapes, they look really complex or detailed. They look really hard to draw. They can be just broken down into very basic shapes, and they're not so bad. So I'm gonna start with an oval right here, and then I'm just gonna take the edge of the oval right here and draw a little line down, and then maybe one more right here, like that. And then all I have to do is draw some little toes or fingers. These are the hands, right? So maybe fingers, we'll call those. Okay, and then we also want to draw right back here behind the head. We're gonna draw kind of a peeking out on the other side, because it's on the other side of the body. We want to just kind of peek the shoulder there of the front arm there. And then we'll just kind of go like this and kind of show that there's some toes over there. Or fingers. I don't know. Toes and fingers are all the same over here when they have the 4 legs. Okay, in the back, let's add another one. Peek. This is going to be the back side over here, the way it's kind of twisted. And I'll explain how we can kind of work around that here in a second. So back here, we're gonna go like this. There you go, I think that's pretty good. So just like a little half circle. And then again, we're gonna kind of peek some of those toes. Alrighty, over here we got another leg you're gonna see it. See how it's twisted on this side, you see it, and then it goes back around over here. So now you're gonna see more of this back leg right here. So let's draw another oval since we're gonna see more of it, like that maybe. And then I'm going to draw some lines, like one there, maybe one right there. Should I bring this out a little bit? You know what? Okay, I'm gonna erase this a little bit because I have an idea. I think I want this to go out a little bit further so I can make sure the toes don't really get in the way. So I'm gonna go like that. There, I think that's a little bit better. That way I can fit the toes without them going underneath the body. And then I can just kind of go like this. Awesome. Okay, you can clean that up later. But I think this is looking pretty good. That's the basic shape of our Gila Monster. You can make yours chunkier if you want. But now that we have the main shapes, oh, let's do where the eye is. Let's see the eye. The eye is gonna be right around here. Yeah, we'll do the eye right around there. Okay, so I have to share this fact with you because it's just too funny. But before I tell you this fact, you have to understand that Gila Monsters are super lazy. The fastest they can run is 1 mile per hour, super slow. If they can, they'd rather just eat either baby animals or their eggs instead of going hunting. And they spend 95% of their time in their home underground. All right, so are you ready for the fun fact? A group of them is called a lounge. What a perfect name for a bunch of lazy lizards. Okay, so now we know what fits in the page. That's good. That was our goal, right? We wanted to make sure we got the basic shapes and that it fits in the page. Now we have to go through with ours. We can still sketch this part. We can go and clean up our lines and start to add a little bit more of the details. So let's start with the face, because the face is always gonna be kind of fun. So we're gonna kind of have this line go up and down like that, go up and over. So just kind of trace over what you already did. And I want this to go down and then up a little bit more. See that? So it's gonna kind of go like that. And then I want this to round off. I'm gonna round this off right here. Yeah, I like that. And then maybe I'll have a little line over here. Put that underneath. Since I wanna make the mouth open, because another cool thing is their tongue. They have a really thick, forked tongue. And it looked kind of blue to me, or kind of purple sometimes. So I'm gonna make mine purple probably later. I like to add a little bit of color where I can. All right, so we're gonna go back and just draw their mouth open just a little bit. Just go back like that. And then I'm gonna do a couple little things. I'm gonna do a little curve right here, back to where the edge of this circle is, like that. And then I'm gonna take that circle and I'm gonna go and just follow the bottom of it right there. I can press a little harder now on the lines that I want to be my final lines. And then I'm gonna start finalizing these ones over here. Now, it's a good point when you start to get your final lines in there to erase the ones that you don't wanna keep. So I don't wanna keep some of these circles in there because those were just to show me where it was all going to go, and I was gonna use them just as guides, but now I don't need them anymore. That's why I was saying draw lightly, because you wanna be able to erase those. There we go, look at that. Now look at the shape. We made a really complex shape, or a really unique shape that we made out of very basic, boring shapes. And that's how I build most of my illustrations when I'm really stuck on how they're gonna look or what the edges are gonna look like. Just draw basic shapes first. Another cool thing about Gila Monsters is that they can survive in the desert without eating anything for up to several months. Yes, you heard me right, months without eating. In fact, they can just eat a few big meals a year and be perfectly fine. One of the reasons they can do this is because they don't move around a lot. Remember how we said they're kind of lazy? So they don't move around a lot, so their body doesn't require a lot of energy or food. And another reason is because they store fat in their tails. That's why their tails are so fat and chunky. Super interesting, right? Okay, so now I'm gonna draw the little tongue coming out of there. I think this is a good time to do that. So maybe I'll have it come out over here, and we'll go forked like that. Oh yeah, awesome. That's looking really neat. I love this. Okay, so now I wanna go through and fix up the legs as well. Now I don't need to completely finish off that oval. I'm just gonna kind of go like this. And then if you want, you can add a couple lines there to make it look like it's creased over, like in my arm. See that? There's a little crease right there, a little line. That shows that it's bent. There you go. So you can look at your own arm and you can see where things crease. That's another little way to add some fun details to show how things are working. Alrighty, so now I think I like the feet the way they are, but I do want to erase some of these lines in the middle. Remember, those are just guides. Perfect. I love this. Alrighty, here we go. We're gonna go around, we're gonna kind of finalize this outside line like that. And that means maybe just erasing some of those inner lines and those ones that got on the outside that I don't really want. See how it's coming together? Same thing on the back side over here with that leg. And then it'll be really important to do it over here as well. So I don't actually want that line to overlap. Let's do this. I want the body to kind of overlap the leg a little bit. So I'm gonna go erase that. Ooh, should I drew a little bit too dark there. I gotta be careful. But now I'm gonna go around like this, like that. And then over here, I wanna have this part of the line, little curve right there. And I'll go back up the top and I wanna curve that around and have that come down to where the legs are. See? So now I can erase some of these lines over here and it looks like it's kind of folded over. It looks like there's a little bit of depth. So you can see what parts of the body are over the other ones. And that makes it a little bit more interesting to look at. It's more interesting as a drawing. And then we can add the legs over there. And then finally, this big, beautiful tail. I'm gonna want to do something like, I like the top of it like that, but maybe on the bottom, I'm gonna have it kind of come up and then go down like that. Yeah, I think that's kind of fun. Makes it look a little bit more interesting, and then I can erase some of these lines on the outside, and that's awesome. We have the main shape of our Gila Monster. Look how cool that is. Are you proud of yourself? You thought it was probably gonna be kind of difficult, didn't you? Well, I'm glad you stuck with it, because if you just keep drawing those basic shapes and you just sketch over it, a lot of times it looks bad to start, but then you just keep working on it and it'll look a little better and better the more times you sketch over it and clean it up. Okay, so now we got a few more little details before we go to our marker. We want to do an eyeball. I like to do a big pupil. That's the black part in the middle of the eye because I feel like it just makes it look more friendly. Now don't get me wrong, if you see a Gila Monster, which they're very hard to find, but if you do find one, they are protected and they're dangerous. So just leave them alone, just admire them because they're really pretty animals, but you don't need to touch them because they are dangerous. Alrighty, so let's add, I'm gonna add the little nostril right here. That's a little detail we can add. Maybe we'll add some more little things around their jaw. Let's do this. Let's add like this little thing, because they got chubby cheeks. Makes them have chubby cheeks, and we'll draw another line right here because their skin kind of folds up funny when they're all bunched up. There we go. Anything else we're missing? Oh, we're missing the cool pattern. We need to add that cool pattern on there. Now you can do that with just your coloring, or you can kind of draw some of those things now so that when you go to color it, you have just something to fill in. I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna go through and just make a few little fun lines here, and then I can use it kind of like a coloring book. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. The first thing that stands out to me about the Gila Monster is its pebbly, brightly colored patterned skin. They actually kind of remind me of poison dart frogs, who, like the Gila Monster, have those cool patterns and colors that act as camouflage, but also warn predators that they're poisonous. All right, okay, I think that's enough marks on there for now. Now we just need to go and take our beautiful sketch and start outlining it with a dark marker so that we have something to color in. And I think that's the last line. Oh, it's really coming together. I'm so excited to color this. But I do want to add maybe a few more little dots here and there because the skin is such a pebbly, cool, it looks like little beads that makes up all the skin. It's actually bone is what they call it. It's actually kind of a bony skin, but it's protection, and it's really cool looking. So I'm gonna draw a few of these little circles here to kind of show off that it's kind of beaded, which is really cool. And while I'm doing this, I want to give a little shout out to the ladies of Unit 35. Thank you guys so much for watching all my videos and drawing with me. It really means the world to me, so thank you guys and keep drawing. Okay, so now that we've finished all the outlining, we're gonna go ahead and just erase. I got a big eraser for this. If you want to get something bigger than just the one on the end of your pencil, that'd probably be best. Just go through and erase all those lines underneath there just to clean up our drawing a little bit. And then next up, I'm gonna go ahead and start using some markers to color mine in, but you can use whatever colors you want, and we'll meet up right after that. Awesome! Oh my goodness, I am so excited with how this turned out. Now, the reason why I didn't use black on the whole body, because they're typically black, is because I wouldn't be able to see a lot of the details. Now, even now, I used a dark brown, and it still kind of drowned out some of the details that I wanted. So if you're using a lighter color, that's awesome too. But I'm really happy with it because you can see that cool pattern that they have, and that's super cool. Now, yours may look different than mine. Is that okay? Of course it's okay. Yours is yours. That's what's so cool about it, is that yours is gonna look different than mine and everybody else's. And that's what makes art so special, is that you are making something truly unique. And it was kind of difficult, I know, but I'm proud of you for sticking around and drawing with me today. All right, so before I'm completely finished, I need to make sure I sign my name at the bottom because I'm proud of what I made, and this kind of finishes it all off. So I'm gonna put my name here. It looks like he's kind of licking my name, eating up my name here. And I gotta give him a name. Oh, that reminds me, I gotta give him a name. Okay, what's his name? What's his name? Oh, I got it. I'm gonna name him Baylor because I have a brand new nephew named Baylor, and I am so excited that he's here, and I'm gonna have my Gila Monster named in his honor. Well, thank you guys for drawing with me today. I had an absolute blast, and I hope you did too. You're gonna have to show me how your Gila Monsters turned out. So if you want, you can have your parents take a picture of your drawing, and then they can just send it to us in a message on Instagram, or they can just reach out via email. And maybe your drawing will show up in one of our future episodes. Well, thanks again for drawing with me, and remember, be brave, be creative, but most importantly, be you. Alrighty, we'll see you next time.